Wickedness. We all know what it is. It's around us. It's in people we know, people we don't know. But here's the question I have for you. What is wicked in South Africa? Isn't education a wicked problem in South Africa? When you're describing a wicked problem, you have to look at the stakeholders. How the wicked problem resists an accurate definition, the no-stopping aspects, the solutions that may be viewed as right or wrong. How is the wicked problem unique and novel, and why an alternative solution may be improbable? We're looking at the stakeholders. We see a few different things are involved. Firstly, we see the government, because they provide the funding. Next, we see taxpayers, who work for their money and through tax pay for education. Then we see parents, who usually are the taxpayers, who have to pay for university fees for children and also pay tax. We also see universities and the students. Universities are the ones supplying tertiary education and receiving money for this, while students are the ones busy studying at the universities and who often have to worry about their fees. So what is the definition of a wicked problem? The wicked problem resists an accurate definition because once one problem is resolved, another one is identified. It's this never-ending cycle like a snake eating its own tail. If you want free education, taxes have to rise, which will increase poverty in South Africa because the taxpayers are already busy paying for the poor, which will prove that this process will only make the rich poorer and the poor even more poor. After that, universities have to increase and upgrade the infrastructure because more people will be able to go to school. And once you look at all these different aspects, it's game over. Why? Because universities still need to increase their syllabus because if more people are failing, they'll have people in first year 5 years in a row and taxpayers who are just paying for them failing. And this just goes in this vicious cycle because the more people that fail, the higher taxes go. The more poor people get, the more universities have to fish out, the more the taxpayer has to pay out. There's absolutely no stopping this process. To fee or not to fee? This is the question on all of South Africans and even the government's lips. The problem is, once you solve the problem, you create more problems as I just showed. And if you leave the problem, you're still affecting society. What makes this problem unique? It's because it's unidentifiable. It's a national problem. This problem is almost impossible to solve. There are both questionable theories and questionable solutions. There's an unidentifiable source as to why the problem exists, and it's definitely an evident problem in society revolving education. Steve Maraboli stated that once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. And in my opinion, this is the biggest problem that South Africa faces. If you want free education, you have to change the mindsets of thousands of people. And even if you forget about the society, you still have to change the mindset of the government. Fees must fall. We saw the strikes, we saw the protests, we saw the amount of unhappy students. But should they really fall? The question that hit me is, if other countries can get it right, why can't South Africa? So let's have a look at what these countries are doing and see what South Africa is doing in order to see if we can afford free education. The first country we'll be looking at is Finland. They provide free education and are tuition free for students coming from EU and EEA countries. English taught degrees will need to pay a tuition fee between 800 and 1,300 euros a month. A maximum individual marginal tax rate is 53% and VAT is 24%. With this tax money, people receive efficient bus services, free education including university tuition, disability benefits, healthcare for everyone, long maternity and paternity leaves, and other benefits. Each student also receives free allowance each month because their focus is supposed to be on studying, or so the government says. The pass rate for Finland is that a quarter of the students who drop out of secondary rates only drop out because they cannot afford the materials. This statement alone should tell you that even if South Africa did receive free education, how many of our people actually be able to afford the books just to be able to study further? What is the scholarships in this country, you ask? Only 13 companies provide scholarships in Finland. Norway, however, provides free education to all international students. The only fee that is required is a fee between 32 and 65 euros for the student union. Germany says they have free education, but administrative fees alone cost between 100 and 200 euros a year. Germany taxpayers pay between 14 and 42% income tax. 28% of their students give up their studies in their first year. Germany only provides 4 bursaries, and these are for the top students only. There are also only 5 aid programs helping provide education for those who are battling with money. When looking at South Africa, it is very evident that we do not have free education. A BA costs 42,000 Rand on average, a BCom 45,000, BSc 46,000, LLB 44,000, and a BNG a whopping 25,000. Your average first year in South Africa costs 41.5 thousand Rand, and you still have to pay tuition fees between 100 and 500 Rand. South Africa's GDP of 4.2 trillion makes it seem as if free education is possible. But you have to keep in mind that 101 billion Rand, a whole 9% of this money, goes to paying interest on state debt. General public services, social protection, public order and safety, economic affairs, housing and community amenities, defense, health, recreation, culture and religion, environmental protection, grants, social benefits, compensation of employees, all of this gets paid with the state's money, leaving only 4.8% for education. And this comes through from nursery schools all the way into universities. South Africa's pass rate is also incredibly low. 32% of financial aid students graduate after 5 years of study. This is people who are already receiving free education. 47.9% of students don't even complete their degrees. Luckily, there is light in the darkness, and the superhero in this story is the scholarship program. South Africa has 106 companies offering bursaries, and these companies aren't just simply offering one bursary, they're offering a few. But if you want to be a happy student in South Africa receiving this help, you have to be a working student and prove your worth. So what is the conclusion? No, I don't believe that education in South Africa should be free. If you want free education, you have to work hard for it and prove your worth just like everyone else.